Just a quick one about team news. Any new issues off the back of yesterday's game?
No, the players are not in yet. We will assess them today, but we didn't have any major problems. So I'm expecting the ones that are fit at the moment to continue be available for the weekend.
Now, we saw a very different side in the Europa League yesterday to the one that obviously played against Manchester United at the weekend. We saw some stellar performances yesterday from the likes of Joe Willock. Do you think the competition for places is helping to drive up the performances of the team overall?
Absolutely. I think medium and long term is something that we'll benefit from. First of all, because the choices are opened. I think players have to raise the level, and what they did last season, it doesn't count. Is what they're doing right now, how they are performing, how they are contributing to the team. And I'm really pleased that players that haven't had many minutes are still fit and willing to perform like they did last night.
And of course, you play Aston Villa next, but then after that, there is an international break. How important is it for your team's belief, but also your position in the table, that you go into that break with another victory?
Yes, it would be great. Obviously, before the international break, if you are able to win, the mood on the camp and everybody when it leaves, it's much better. Obviously, it will reflect as well our position on the table because there are other important matches coming up. We know the game we're facing against them. We've lost the last 2 times against them, so it will be difficult. There's a team that has grown so much in recent months that they made some clever business, in my opinion, in the market. And they are stronger than last year.
Well, I was going to ask you as well about their start to the season, because they have had a good start, but they have also lost their last 2 games. So how tricky of a match are you expecting?
Yeah, it's a really competitive side. They play, as you mentioned, very different matches, playing some with different approaches as well to certain matches, having some big results against big teams. And after 2 defeats, obviously they need a win as well. So they will show that right from the start, I think.
And Jack Grealish, he's had a scintillating start to the season. How highly do you rate him as a player?
Yeah, a top player, great talent. It's a player that you can say that can make the difference any moment in the game. He has this personality against any opponent, any ground, to take the ball in any area of the pitch, and he's a player that can make the difference. So we have to look after him.
Okay, thank you so much, Mikel.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vi. Ian?
Yeah, hi. You say that this season Aston Villa are stronger. Where particularly do you feel that they're better than they were last season?
Well, I think they have a better understanding with the players. They work with the manager for longer. I think they recruited really well. They got Emi, they got the striker, they got Ross, which is a player with a lot of experience, Douglas Luiz, that now is starting to show what he's capable. He's a player that I know really well from my time at City. And I think the time is benefiting them together, and you can see what they are trying to do, and they look really strong.
Talk about Emi, who left you to go to Aston Villa. How frustrated was he at Arsenal at not being the main keeper?
Yeah, well, he had a career of 10 years here. It wasn't just the last 6 or 8 months. You have to look at everything he did through his time at the club. Obviously, it wasn't in my plans to sell him. We give him the chance because he deserved it. He performed really, really well. But after we have to balance the books. We have to make the right choices in the market. And obviously, I could not guarantee him to be number 1, you know. And he's a very ambitious person. He's been working really hard. He could see now that the opportunity is there. He's got the chance to play with Argentina. And when a player asks you to do that, I think you have to be open enough and tell him what you think about him. And if he makes the decision to leave, try to support it, because he deserves the way he has served the club over the years.
At a time when the Premier League is seeing a lot of goals, Arsenal are not conceding many, just 7 in 7, but not scoring many either. Do you feel you should be scoring more goals?
Yes, I do. And to get that balance right is not easy. Considering the fixtures that we have played this season, since the beginning, playing Liverpool 3 times, playing Manchester City, Leicester. It's not easy, It's something that we've been working on the last 2 weeks. You could see last night that we were much more fluent in attack. We scored the goals. We got more opportunities. It's a part that the team still has to evolve more because we haven't played many games against very low blocks as well, something that we have to improve on. But obviously, to become a top team, you have to score 90, 100 goals if you want to be competing with the top guns, and it's a challenge for us and an area that we have to improve and do better.
You spoke about Joe a little earlier. A lot of Arsenal fans want to see him given an opportunity in the Premier League. You've given young players an opportunity to play since you took charge at Arsenal. Does he have to be patient?
I think it's key in the development phase to be patient, but as well we have to be reading the situation as it is. He's playing in Europe regularly. He's not playing like before. He used to say, okay, they can play the Carabao Cup and we give them 10 minutes here. It's not the case. He's playing minutes in important matches. Yeah, does he want to start in the Premier League? Of course. But he's part of his development. And you look at Joe 12 months ago and Joe now, the player how he's maturing, how much he's improved. I'm telling you, he's in the right path. And if he continues to be like that, be consistent, he will have his chances.
If there was 5 substitutes in the Premier League, would that give you greater scope to play younger players?
Absolutely, and that's the way that we try to plan the squad, because we all thought that the same rules will continue, and then you could have a 20-man squad on the bench, which makes total sense with the amount of fixtures that we are playing. At the end of the day, we could not get that through. It's 18 players on that squad, and that limits it when you have 26, 27 outfield players. Every week you have to leave 7, 8 players out of that squad, which is really tough because they are not in the dynamic of your team. But then the competition races as well, which is positive. They have to perform better. They have to deserve to be there. And at the end of the day, it's what it is.
David Moyes says that he's changed his mind. He wasn't in favour of 5 substitutes at the start of the season, but now he is. Do you sense that there is a growing feeling for change to perhaps reintroduce the 5 subs?
I don't know. When we experienced it, I think it was something really positive. I think players really liked it. I think it gives options to the managers as well to make some changes, keep everybody more together. I think it has to be reviewed. And with the amount of injuries that the Premier League are having already at this stage, I think it's something to consider seriously.
But finally, for me, players are going away after this with their countries. How concerned are you, particularly in the light of what happened with Kieran Tierney last time?
Well, we just try to have a good communication with all the national teams, try to understand the protocols that they have in place and make sure they protect our players. We understand that we have to give the players away, but to please put everything in place and don't expose them, because then at the end of the day, we're going to pay the price of that, and it's not fair.
Mikel, actually, one other thing, if I may. Gary Neville, I don't know whether you heard this. He says on the touchline, you look $1 million. How much pride do you take in your appearance on the touchline?
I cannot hear him.
Gary Neville. Gary Neville. He says you look $1 million on the touchline. How much pride do you take in your appearance at a match?
Well, I take Gary very seriously. So if he's saying it in a good way, thanks to him, I don't know. I try to be myself on the touchline. Sometimes when I look at myself and I am constantly talking and shouting, I don't really like too much, but it's with emotion and passion that I live the game.